Meanwhile, Mighty Eagle had arrived back at his destroyed home on Bird Island. "Whew! Dodged that bullet." He set one of his trophies up and fixed a framed poster of himself. Then he sat down and began to eat a bowl full of cereal. At that very moment, Melody came flying in, very exhausted from all the wing flapping. When she saw Mighty Eagle eating, she was furiously disgusted.
Unbelievable!
Oh, it's you, the orange mouse with bird wings.
Yeah, it's me!
Melody stomped angrily over to him.
And you, mister, should feel ashamed of yourself, abandoning your team like that, and more importantly, abandoning...
She flew up to his face and held up some pictures of him and Zeta as teenagers she found.
Her! I mean, does a day really go by that you don't think about her? And how much you've hurt her?
Mighty Eagle looked at the pictures and knew that somehow Melody was right. Being all alone wasn't very brave or mighty at all. Melody fluttered down on the table, still looking very angry.
How do you live with yourself?
Look, I've done enough damage to everyone. I wasn't even ready to be married to Zeta because I was too afraid of what the future would look like if we got married. If we had kids, it would have been so stressful for me. But I'll never win her heart back, young mouse. It's all over. Melody stopped feeling angry and actually felt very sorry for Mighty Eagle. Then she spoke in a kind voice.
No, don't say that. It's not over. Let me tell you a little something. I used to be afraid of being a big sister to Marcus, until I realized that being scared and worried for the future so much wasn't really getting me anywhere. It wasn't helping me at all. I had to face my worries head on, and in the process became a sister my brother loves. Facing your fears not only makes things better for you and others, it also makes you braver. So when you say it's too late, that's not true. There's still time to set things right. And I know you can do that, Mighty Eagle. And she gave him an encouraging smile. Mighty Eagle looked at her. Do you really mean that? What if she's still angry with me? Well, maybe she might be. But I bet that somewhere underneath all those spiky purple feathers, there's some part of her that wishes you would come back. Some part of her that really misses you. Her heart might still be broken, but it's still there. And I know that in some way, she'll forgive you.
Mighty Eagle listened very carefully to what Melody had told him, and then he decided, you know what? You're right. Maybe it's not too late to change everything. I've got to go back to Eagle Island and make amends with her, and maybe even properly marry her. For real.
Yes! That's the spirit!
Now let's go, little orange mouse, before it's too late. Then he flapped his wings and took off.
Right behind you!
She flapped her back wings and followed him. Back at Eagle Island, Indigo and Fuchsia had decided to try to pull Red and Silver's arms out of their icy shackles, but it was quite difficult to do. Nevertheless, they kept trying, and Marcus was trying to bite a hole in one of the pool rafts. But because he now had a beak and his teeth weren't sharp enough, he wasn't having much luck. But he wasn't ready to give up. Aunt Red, on the other hand, knowing what he knew, was now overcome with guilt, grief, and despair. It's no good, Indigo. Nothing's gonna get us out of here. This is all my fault. No! We can't give up! Yeah! We gotta... Wait. What do you mean it's your fault? Red, it's not your fault. No, it is my fault. I put myself before everyone else. Then he looked sadly at his son. Including you, Indigo. I was afraid that if I wasn't a hero anymore, they'd all stop liking me. Then he began to tear up as he looked at Indigo again. And Indigo, I didn't want to tell you this the other night because I was really worried that I would lose you as my kid. That you wouldn't want me to be your father anymore. Oh, you were afraid of losing me? Oh, gee. Marcus felt so sorry for Red. His ears drooped. Oh. Silver finally understood. Oh, Red. So you did all of this because you were afraid of not being liked? And losing Indigo as your son? Yes. I'm sorry for everything. Indigo stared at Red, and then spoke softly. But Dad, you can never lose me. Not after everything you've done for me. When my mother died in that storm, I lost all hope of ever being loved or having a family ever again. I thought I was gonna be all alone for the rest of my life. But then Muna brought me to Bird Island and I met you and you took me in and it made me feel so... He slowly smiled a little. Happy. Knowing that someone cared. Even after my wings grew on my back, you still accepted me for who I was and never treated me differently. And the day you adopted me was... He teared up remembering that happy moment. The happiest moment of my life. So there's no way you could ever lose me. I love you, Dad. Really? You still love me? Even after everything that's happened? What I put you through? Of course I do. I really do. Nothing and no one will change that. Because in my eyes... Indigo smiled warmly at his father.
You're still my hero. Oh. I still love you too, Indigo. My one-of-a-kind son. A few tears trickled down his cheeks. Happy tears. I'm so glad I adopted you. And Indigo, even though he knew Red's limbs were pinned down, climbed up on Red's belly and gave him a big hug. Red could only just smile warmly. Silver, Fuchsia, and Marcus smiled too, knowing that Red and Indigo still loved each other very much as father and son. But suddenly, the heartwarming moment was shattered by Zeta's booming voice. My fellow Eagles! Who's tired of living in an icy wasteland? We are! Yeah! What is she doing? We gotta get you both out of here! Silver struggled to move, but then noticed the nozzle on Red's pool raft. Who is tired of sipping hot chocolate and getting brain freeze? Ah, me! Carl had sipped hot chocolate and got a brain freeze. Silver wrapped her braids around the nozzle of her pool raft and it popped open and started to deflate. Who's tired of frozen dinners? Meanwhile, the rest of the team were racing to the rescue. Whoa, frozen dinners? Come on, Bomb, let's go! Everyone, Chuck took Bomb and so did the others. Who's tired of playing only vanilla ice, iced tea, and ice cube? Brad was still lying on the bathroom floor. I am. Who wants to live worry-free under a beautiful tropical sun? Me! I want to be hot! Baby whimpered in agreement as in his ice cube prison, raising his paw. I want it hot! There's no turning back. The future we desire is about to be ours. Glenn, activate the weapon. Start the countdown. The countdown clock showed 10 minutes. 10 minutes to launch. 5 lava tubes were quickly filled with yellow, orange, red, pink, and purple lava. Giant bubbles were blown to create the frozen ice balls. Meanwhile, Indigo, Fuchsia, Marcus, and Silver were trying to free Red. Indigo had finally managed to pull one of Red's arms free. All right, stand back. Wait, did you hear that too? Bomb? Bomb! Kaboom! The explosion sent Red, Silver, and the 3 kids flying. The team emerged from the blasted entrance. What in the... Red and Silver were wearily cheek to cheek with each other like they had been kissing. Really, guys? They quickly separated. What? No! We weren't. Yeah, they were. Courtney took a snapshot with her phone. Guys, why is that clock counting backwards? We've only got 10 minutes. It's now or never. Pig kind and bird kind and even mouse kind are depending on us. Yeah! Oh, gosh! Marcus turned to Red. What are we going to do, Red? Red freed his foot from the last block of ice. Well, Then he looked at Silver. I think... Then he made a decision. In times like these, we need someone who can lead. We need a hero. You know what we need? We need Silver. What? Silver was surprised to hear that she was the one being called a hero. Oh! Got any ideas? Red smiled at her. Silver smiled back.
I've got a few, actually.
Then Silver turned to Fuchsia, and I think Fuchsia here can also be of assistance. Won't you, Fuchsia?